Hey, dudes. We are kicking ass this year. The Russia thing's going pretty good. Calling everyone a Nazi is awesome. Trump is Hitler. And white nationalism is in the White House. White supremacy's everywhere. Racism is alive and well. But we need to focus on policies. 3 policies. We need to focus on those for 2020 and show America that we're not your granddaddy's Democrats. We're kick-ass, and we resist, and we're radical dudes. So here's what I'm proposing. And we're already doing this, but I really want to focus on this. We want to focus on 3 things. Tons of abortions, solar planes, and free money for black people. Those are, I think, our 3 policies outside of everyone is racist and punch a Nazi that we should focus on in 2020. Now, you remember this Virginia governor, Ralph Northam? He was the guy. I was mad at him because I saw he wore blackface to a party in 1962. That pissed me off because that's racist. It also pisses me off when Billy Crystal and Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon and what's her name? That chick who goes, "Today's paradise, put up a parking lot." Pisses me off when they do that too. But then he made up for it when he described killing a newborn, which you have to do sometimes. Go ahead.
The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable.
Kept comfortable? See?
The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired, and then a discussion would ensue between
Just pause there. So you have a stillborn, and the doctor goes, "Should I use the ka-chunk things? They're probably really tiny, those little, all clear ka-chunk. They probably look like little dimes for a baby's chest." But you ask the physician and the parents, "Should I bring the stillborn back to life?" What's so weird about that? Go ahead.
Physicians and the mother. So I think this was really blown out of proportion. But again, we want the government not to be involved in these types of decisions. We want the decision to be made by the mothers and their providers. And this is why, Julie, that legislators, most of whom are men, by the way, shouldn't be telling a woman what she should and shouldn't be doing with her body.
Anyway, he goes on like that. He also talks about all the different reasons that you might want to kill a newborn, like if it's deformed or something. What if it's ugly? What if it's a white male? Then I think you should not. I think you should get an ultrasound, and if they say the baby's going to be a white male, you should have it cut out. And by the way, you know how they talk about how they reassemble the baby parts when they pull out parts of a baby, in a 3rd trimester abortion, and they put it on the little tray and they remake it. That's not some stupid game. It's not a scary movie trick. It's not the Edward Scissorhands guy. What they're doing that to make sure they didn't leave any body parts in the woman. So it's actually very safe and healthy to put the little baby parts together on a tray. It's for the woman. It's feminism in a way. All right. The second thing we should be focusing on is the Green New Deal. Now, I love Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez because she admits that she makes mistakes. And she says, mistakes are good. I screw up sometimes. That's awesome because I'm learning as long as my general idea is there. And her general idea is we abolish fossil fuels and go to 100% renewable energy by 2030. Right now, only 2% of America's solar of America's power is solar. Let's get that up to 100%. What about a solar plane? What about a solar skin that goes around everything in the country, generates power? I wouldn't be surprised if there's energy in the air. There's tantric massage. Why can't we harness the energy in the air? And, by the way, to go back to the hate has no home here, maybe we could inject racism into all of these. But anyway, it's actually good for black people and equality to have solar and wind. And check out Ocasio-Cortez announcing the Green New Deal. And she even has a green sign.
We truly embark on a comprehensive agenda of economic, social, and racial justice in the United States of America. That's right. That's what this agenda is all about. Because climate change and our environmental challenges are one of the biggest existential threats to our way of life. Not just as a nation, but as a world. And in order for us to combat
She's speaking as a world right there. And she's saying that if we can get more solar and more wind and less planes, fuck Hawaii. Who needs to go to Hawaii? Take a boat if you have to go, like Columbus did when he killed everyone. If we institute more solar and more wind, there will be less racism. And that brings us to our third solution to the world's problems, reparations. And one thing I just want to say before we get into reparations that really pisses me off. I've heard people like Jim Goad say, oh, we've already paid reparations if you look at affirmative action and welfare. Oh, white people aren't on welfare? Secondly, another common mistake is when they go, oh, all the money that was generated from slavery was gone after the Civil War and we were millions of dollars in debt. Oh, really? Did all cotton vanish? People still had their cotton shirts after the Civil War. So there was still some slavery money floating around, and people were very comfortable. Cotton's a very comfortable flowing thing. We should all have to pay back ancestors of slaves. Anyway, my two favorite candidates when it comes to reparations are, of course, my favorite Hispanic guy, Beto. Here he is hanging out with Al Sharpton, who's... I cannot get over how much weight that guy's lost. He looks really good.
Fellow Texan Sheila Jackson Lee has proposed a commission to study reparations. If that passes and you are President of the United States, would you sign that bill?
Yes. I had a chance to
That's all we need
speak with
from him.
and just listen to
Bang. Yes. Nails it. No beating around the bush with Beto. And then here's Cory Booker. I don't know how he grew up, but I know that he had a friend in New Jersey that was called T-Bone. So he's basically a badass. And here's Don Lemon. And look how comfortable he is with gays, by the way, Cory Booker. Here's Don Lemon saying, hey, man, should we give money to us? And he goes, yes. Check it out.
Reparations. Would you be in favor of direct monetary payments to black Americans who are descendants of slaves?
Can I tell you why I'm frustrated
I love that
and
he
disappointed
takes
by
the question and owns it.
It's because it's being reduced to just a box to check on a presidential list, when this is so much more of a serious conversation. So do I support...
I notice a lot of African Americans support the idea of reparations, probably because they hate racism.
Not only do I support it, but I have legislation that actually does it. In fact, I've got the only legislation, I think, in the entire Congress that Columbia University says would virtually eliminate the racial wealth gap.
He keeps talking, and he brings up baby bonds, which is a brilliant idea Cory Booker had, where every poor person gets like 50 grand. That's awesome, and that'll really help the black community. And all of this is infused with race. I'm realizing now as I talk about it. So, yes, hate has no home here. Yes, Trump is a Nazi. We also have to focus on policy, and all of those policies are related. 1, abortion up until the day after the baby's born is good. Some black people can't afford babies, so they should die. 2, we have to abolish all fossil fuels and have solar planes so poor people can fly, and poor people will work. Black people will work at the solar plants and the wind energy plants, and they'll be making money. And then 3, all black people should get money because they were slaves. Seems simple to me. I am Miles McInnes. I make videos about social justice. To see them all, go to nohate.com.